Hello, my name is Lenka from Lenka is Puzzling and I love stats. So this video is going to be my stats for puzzling from the last year. It is going to be in 3 different kind of topics, I guess. So it's going to be the stats for me buying puzzles, then it's going to be the puzzles I did, and then it's going to be my to-do pile. That one is admittedly like the least interesting. It's just going to be like a few numbers, but you know, why not talk about it. So I prepared my trusty notebook with all of the information. I do want to say that I was preparing this during today and I kind of have a little bit of a problem with the numbers because I use 2 kinds of tracking for this. So I have my Google Doc kind of spreadsheet where I put every puzzle that I buy, I put in when I buy it, I put in the price and all of that. And then when I build the puzzles, I put that in as well. But I don't really have a good system for when I build it again. So I do have like a 1 column of like build again, and I put in the date when I build something. I do not track that time, so that's kind of like a bummer. And then I do not have if I build it again. So, you know, like when I was training for speed puzzling, I was doing the same puzzles 2 or 3 times in that year. And I do not have a way to track that in my spreadsheet. I do, however, have another way to track everything. I have an app that my friend programmed for me, basically. So it is just for me, it's not anything commercial that he could even make commercial, it's only for 1 user. But I do have a way to put in puzzles, I do have a way to put in when I build them, and that one actually tracks when I redo them way better. So the numbers that I have here are a combination of both, because when I looked at the puzzles I was buying, it in my spreadsheet it had more than in the app. So I'm thinking I maybe forgot to put some in the app, because it is annoying to put them in the app because I have to actually look up the images, find them in a good quality and good format. Then, you know, I have to put it all in so that it's nice and pretty. And there's all of these little windows and, you know, things that you have to go through. While when I do it in my spreadsheet, I just put in another line and just write out all of the information that I have. So I guess somewhere I must have made a mistake, and I will find the mistake once I want to build the puzzle and I don't find it in the app, but I do have it in the spreadsheet. I will just add it in. But for now, I don't think the app is accurate for the puzzles I bought, because it doesn't make sense that, you know, one would have more. And I do believe that it's going to be, the bigger number is going to be correct. So that's like one thing that I had an issue with, and I decided to go with the numbers from the spreadsheet. But then when I was looking at the puzzles I built and I was going through them month by month, I was like, well, this doesn't seem right, because I have very, very few for these months. And then I was like, well, but those months were when I was training for the speed puzzling. So I have the puzzling for those missing. So then I had to go again through the numbers with the app to check, and of course everything was much higher because I was missing all of those sessions. So the build numbers are from the app, the bought numbers are from the spreadsheet, and then the to-do list numbers are also from the spreadsheet, because there should be like everything added in. So I'm hoping I have the correct numbers, because it was like quite a big difference. It's like with the build ones, it's like 16 puzzles. So the times and the numbers from that I took from the app. So, you know, it's a kind of a mishmash. You don't really care what I got these numbers. You know that I track it, and you know that these are the numbers that I came up with. You don't need to know where I came up with them. So, I do also have some pie charts, so when it's applicable, I will put them right here so that you can see. I don't have a lot, because really all I am going to be talking about is for the pie charts, the companies and how many I do from each. And then I have a pie chart for the like number of pieces that I did, but we'll see when I go through it. Okay, so first category is the puzzles I bought. So I do not have like a number from last year for everything, or for nothing in here, because last year I just started puzzling, and I started like in the middle of the year. So I don't want to be comparing the numbers from half a year last year and then from this full year. So I will be only saying the numbers from this year, and then next year we can compare. You know, that makes sense. Okay, so this year I bought 277 puzzles. Bought or got as a gift, you know, acquired in any way. So that is a lot. But I do also puzzle a lot, so you know, it's all gonna make sense when we get to the next category. But 277 puzzles for the total of 238,984 pieces, which means basically average is 862 pieces. So most of my puzzles right now are 1,000-piece puzzles, and then I do sometimes buy like 500 pieces, or a few times I buy something smaller. So it's not usually bigger. So that is kind of the average there. But the more important question is the price. So I do try to swap puzzles, I do try to buy in discounts. A lot of, if you watch my hauls, a lot of my hauls are, oh, you know, there was this discount, so I had to order it. So for this, I will first say the Czech crowns, and then I will put it in euros for you so that it's easier. But in Czech crowns, which is my number that makes sense to me, it's 49,718 total for all the puzzles I bought in the past year. That is like 2 really nice vacations, just to put it into perspective. In euros, it is 2,057, 58 if we round up the like cents. So over 2,000 euros I spent on puzzles this year. See, and all year I was like, we don't have any money. How come we don't have any money? We can't afford this, we can't afford that. And then I look at how much I spent for puzzles, and now it makes sense. But of course, you know, because I track, you know, my budget. I never go over budget, but I buy like a little order here and then a little order there, and then 2 separate puzzles from Vinted or something like that. So it kind of sums up and makes this a huge amount, but you know, that is average 179 crowns for puzzle, which is really good price, considering that 1,000-piece Ravensburger usually costs 350, so 179 is a like really good price. Also saying that most of my puzzles are 1,000 pieces, you know, so yeah. So in euros that would be 7.4 average for puzzle. You let me know if that is a good price in like that pricing. And then I did also count how much each piece would cost me, and that is 0.2 Czech crowns or 0.0086 euros. So that is like not really recognizable number anymore in euros, but in Czech, you know, it's like 20 cents, which that's literally nothing. We don't even have cents in Czech crowns anymore. The lowest you can go is 1 crown. So this is like a fifth of 1 crown, which is, you know, ridiculous. So that's good. The total could be a little lower if I'm being honest. Like that is crazy. 95 of the 277 pieces were for free, so they were either a gift or a swap. 10 were also cooperation with the Czech puzzle shop. So that's like, you know, that's also not helping the price average because if I took out 95 for the 277, that would make the average price a lot bigger. Yeah. I also checked and I bought this year from 60 different manufacturers of puzzles, and 31 of those I only bought one puzzle from just to try it out because I love trying out new companies. Usually the ones I try out just once are the ones that either are like a really small company, so they don't have a lot of puzzles that appeal to me, or they are from like USA, so they're not really available here and I just want to try it, but it's not really something that I could buy often, or it's just a bad experience that I don't want to do again. But most of them are just like, yeah, it was okay, but like I'm not gonna go out of my way to get puzzles from them. So if I show you the breakdown of all of the companies, if I put in everything, all 60, the pie chart is gonna be a mess. So I'm gonna show you, but like you're not gonna see much from it. So then I went through and I took only the companies where I got 5 or more puzzles from, just to make it a little bit more like visible. And here we can see that 43% are Ravensburger. From the whole like 60 companies, it was 31%. So still like the biggest part is Ravensburger, for obvious reasons. You know, it is very available here. It is not like a horrible price. It is good quality, and they have a huge variety of images that I like. I like a lot of like Truffle, Clementoni, you know, Castorland, but their image variation and the artists that I like, they are with Ravensburger. So I just am kind of forced for me to buy Ravensburgers all the time. But with this one, you know, if we just take the 5 and up, so it's 43% Ravensburger, then it's 14% Truffle, 12% Clementoni. Doesn't surprise me. These are the cheaper companies that are very available here, and I like both of them. Clementoni more than Truffle, but again, Clementoni with their images is just not always the best for me, so it's kind of a mix there. And then I love Schmidt, but they are a bit more expensive, and they are again, the images that I can choose from here are not like everything that I would want. So only 5% Schmidt, 4% Heye, 3% Cherry Puzzy, Cobble Hill, Enjoy, Cloudberries, Demelza, Dino, And then we have Magnolia and Edgica on the bottom there. So it was 87 puzzles from Ravensburger, 29 from Treffel, 24 from Clementoni, 11 from Schmidt, 9 from Heye, and then the other ones are smaller percentages, so let's not even go there, because if I just sit here and read you a set of numbers, it's gonna be a very boring video. So yeah, that is a lot. A lot of Ravensburger. They got like a lot of money from me. I do have the overall look from my friend's app, and I do think it said how much like by company I bought. So let's just see real quick here. Oh my goodness. See, he made it so smart that it's too smart for me now. So I want to see only 2025, no comparison. Okay, that's better. Right, so let's go a little bit lower. Yes, so Ravensburger, I spent 15,000 Czech crowns from the 49 total. And then the next one, Treffel, it was only 2,800. So like the jump there, even though the number of puzzles I got from them is not like a huge difference, the jump there is just like, that's crazy. Okay, so that would be all of the stats that I have for what I bought. Now the more interesting is what I put together. And here I did 242 puzzles in the year 2025. So if I bought 277 and I put together 242, I bought 35 more puzzles than I put together, which isn't crazy. Like that's like a month and a little bit for me of puzzling. So, you know, that's not like I'm overbuying by any means, because obviously I puzzle a lot as well. So 242 I put together. It is in total 184,507 pieces. So on average it is 762 pieces. So again, I usually do 1,000 pieces or 500 pieces. Now let's see, like by piece, how are the percentages. So I did one 9,000 piece and then 150 piece. These are the two extremes. And then I did two 200 pieces, two 750 pieces. Then I did three 1,500 pieces and three 2,000 pieces, which is actually like the biggest piece count I ever did, because the 9,000 I did in sections of 1,500. So all together in like one bag, 2,000 is the biggest one that I did, and it's going to be the biggest one that I do because I don't have the time or the space to do anything bigger. I admire people who can, but I could never. And then I did 114,000 pieces and 500 pieces. So it was exactly 100, which just makes me very, very happy. So in percentages, the other ones are super tiny, but it's 41% of 500 pieces and 47% of 1,000 pieces. Which, you know, that makes sense for what I'm doing. This year it will be even more 1,000-piece puzzles because I did buy a lot of them, and I am kind of running into the problem that, like, when I look at 500-piece puzzles from the shop that I buy most of my puzzles from, I already did most of the ones that I want to do. So now I'm kind of waiting for new ones to come out or for old ones to show up in like the puzzle swap groups or something like that. Which is kind of sad because I would really love it if 500 pieces had as much variety as 1000 pieces do. Or even if like the companies did 500 and 1000 pieces for everything, each image, you know, in both sizes, so that you can actually choose which size you want to do for each image. I know that that would be really hard logistically, and you know, sometimes the artists have to change the image a little bit to change the piece size. I get that, I get it's not possible to do it, but it would be really nice if they could, because then I could just do a lot of the 1000 pieces that I want to do. And I'm just like, oh, but this is going to be hard as a 1000 piece. I would much more happily do them as a 500 piece count, but they don't make them that small. So yeah, I don't know how it is in your country, but here when I look at stuff, the 500 pieces really don't have that much variety as 1000 pieces do. There's just not that many of them. If I just quickly look at the website that I use, and we go into puzzles for adults. So in their like database, they have 1209 500 piece puzzles, and they have 4,358 1000 piece puzzles. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many more 1000 piece puzzles, but I can only do 1000 pieces during like a weekend or when I'm, you know, on a holiday at home, or sometimes when I work from home and I can just like start right when my work finishes. Or maybe like even I have maybe sometimes time to trade the pieces during work because it's kind of slow or something, but that doesn't always happen. So out of the week, if I want to puzzle every day, I have 2 days usually when I can do a 1000 piece puzzle, and yet there's 4 times more of them. And even in my like current to-do pile, there's way more 1000 pieces. So then I'm forced to just not puzzle during the weekdays when I'm at work because I just don't have time to do a 1000 piece puzzle. And if you watch me, you know I have 4 cats and 1 dining table, so I cannot just like have an unfinished puzzle lying. And because if I leave it on the table, first of all, we don't have anywhere to eat, which is kind of a problem. And second of all, the cats can play with it when I'm not around, and I don't want, you know, missing pieces or pieces being chewed on or something like that. My cats are pretty good at like not hurting the puzzles, but also they are just cats, so they like run over the table and take like half the puzzle with them. So I cannot, like, I did buy kind of like a tablecloth that I can put over it in emergency situations, but for how my life works right now, I cannot leave an unfinished puzzle on the table. And I do not like any of the options to like store the puzzle away, you know, like the portable things and everything. I don't like to use those. So for me, if I could just have a few more 500 pieces so that I can puzzle those during the weekdays and then on weekends do the 1000 pieces, that would be really great, but that's not the reality. So in the next year, I think there will be a lot less like total puzzles done from me, and it will be a lot more just 1000 pieces done because I don't have that many 500 pieces anymore. But that's enough about that. I spent, and this is rounded because I don't actually measure my time with like a stopwatch or something. I just look at when I'm starting and then I look at when I'm finished, and I'm like, okay, so that was 3 hours, 3.5 hours, you know, like I round it to the nearest 15 minutes, let's say. So very, very rounded. I spent 52 6,500 minutes puzzling, which is 875 hours, which is 36 full days and a half, 0.45. So 875 hours this year was spent on just puzzling, which I like that because I like to puzzle. So, you know, this number doesn't scare me at all. And then my pace, and this is not going to be accurate because my friend's app doesn't count pace like this. So this is just from the first time doing the puzzles. But my pace is roughly 0.26 pieces per minute. Roughly. Which, you know, that sounds good. Why not? So I puzzled from 54 different puzzle companies, and I'm not sure what this number is. What is this? What is it counting? See, I did these. Oh, okay. So that is roughly, 505 pieces per day, every day in 2025. Okay. Because I just I wrote a little note what the number is, but now I didn't understand what the note was. But we can look at what it's counting and then we can figure it out. Okay, so it was 54 different companies. I will again give you the messy pie chart and then again 5 and more. So in the messy pie chart, surprisingly, the biggest are Ravensburger, Treffel, Clementoni, and Schmidt. Because I just love these companies. I buy from them, so I also puzzle from them. So in the overall, it is 34% Ravensburger, which is 77 puzzles. But if we look at the nicer pie chart, it is 49% Ravensburger, and then 17% Treffel, 8% Clementoni, 6 Schmidt, 5 Cherry Puzzy, and then Casterland, Cobblehell, Edgica, Falcon, and Heye are all 3%. Or we have 77 puzzles from Ravensburger, 27 from Treffel, 13 from Clementoni, 10 from Schmidt, and 7 from Cherry Puzzle, and then all of the other ones are 5 puzzles each. So I think we can see the trend here. It would make sense from what I was buying also, because obviously what I'm buying I'm also puzzling, so yeah, clearly it's going to be always these companies on top. But yeah, the ones that I puzzled just one puzzle from, it was 30 different companies. So 30 of the 54 were only one puzzle, usually just to try it out and to film it. Okay, now I have also a chart for how much I puzzled each month. So here we have, in January I did 19 puzzles, February somehow I did 24. It's not the biggest month, but it is very close, and it is the shortest, so, you know, crazy. March and April I did 21 in each one. In May I did 15, and in June I did 19. In July it was 27, in August it was 25, September was 16 only, October was 20, November was only 12. Don't know what was happening in November. And then in December it was 23. Well, in November I was sick, so I didn't puzzle for at least a week, I think a little longer, because I just didn't feel like sitting on my kitchen chair puzzling. And then I did also Vlogmas for my Czech channel, that's mostly books. And in November I was filming a lot of those videos because I like to pre-film everything so that I don't have to stress during December. So everything I can pre-film, I pre-film, and usually I start a little earlier, but this year I wasn't even sure that I was going to be doing Vlogmas, so I kind of left it, and then I was catching up in November. So I guess that's also helping to me not puzzling as much, because I was filming and editing other things. So that kind of makes sense a little bit. And then the strongest month is July, and then the second one is August, which I don't understand. It was like this last year as well. And it's like, but why? Because it's not like I have the summer off like when I was in school, because in Czech, all of July and August is like the summer holiday. So it's not like I have the summer off. I just work like normal. I don't even have like a longer holidays during that time. So I don't understand why it's always these 2 months when I puzzle the most. Maybe it's just a combination of having like really good long lasting light outside and just being so hot that you don't really want to do anything. So I just sit and puzzle because that's like the least physical activity I can do. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that's just like, I don't understand how these things happen, but they do, and that's fine. May being so low, I was also a little confused by only having like 15 puzzles in May, but in May I did the 9,000 piece puzzle. So instead of having one here, we could have 6 1,500 puzzles here. And then it would make sense, because that would be like 20 puzzles in that month. And then we're back to like our regular numbers around 20 every month. So yeah, you know, it's like if you do a biggie, it kind of plays with your numbers. And since I'm not used to doing big puzzles, especially not in like 2 weeks, it was kind of like, what was happening in May? Why wasn't I puzzling? I was puzzling. I was just doing one thing for a really long time. And now we move on to my to-do pile. And here it is going to be very, very few numbers. So I have 54 puzzles in my to-do. Since we said I bought 35 more this year than I puzzled, then we have like 19 other ones from other time, or you know, somehow it works out. So 54 to-do puzzles. Most of these are 1,000 piece, seeing the total number of pieces, which is 51,600. So if we have 54 puzzles and it's 51,000 pieces, yeah, most of them are 1,000 piece. I do have a 2,000 piece that needs to be done. And then I have like 300 pieces and very, very few 500 pieces. But I don't have those numbers here because it really doesn't matter that much. The oldest from my to-do by like when I bought it is from June 2025. So I go through them, like I really, really try to get them done at some point. I actually know exactly which two puzzles from June are still hanging on here, because one of them is really hard and one of them is really weird and I need to film it and I don't know if I want to film it. So I'm just like putting it off. I never really want to reach for it in the like last 6 months. So by companies, I, surprise, surprise, have the most Ravensburger to do, and then it's Clementoni, and then it's Treffel. Is anybody else surprised? Because I'm not. Since it's only like 3 companies that are above 5, the one the pie chart that will make more sense, that isn't like all of them, is also includes Demelza Houghton, or the Great British Jigsaw, with 3. But then I have 5 companies that I have 2 puzzles from to do, and then I have 10 companies where I have 1 puzzle from to do, which is not accurate because the first one I see here is Seco, and I have like 1 box from them to do, but it has 4 puzzles in it. So like these ones also make it hard to track everything, because like if I have like the 4,000 piece puzzles in 1 box, it is only 1 line or only 1 image in the app, but also I do all 4 puzzles. So then how do you count that? How do you put down the times? How do you write it down? Like, should I do like a line for each of them? Because, you know, it's hard to figure these things out, how to make them work the best for you. But, you know, that's not a problem. It is 19 different puzzle companies all together. So that is everything from these stats. I will also say that this year I started the English puzzle channel, this one that you are on, because I do have a Czech channel, and that one is it was 13 years old in the summer of 2025. So I've been doing that one for a really long time, but it is, like I said, bookish. So I did put a few like puzzling videos there, and it just didn't get a lot of traction because people just don't care, because they are there for books. And even though some puzzlers are also bookish people, not everyone is. So it is understandable, they are there for books, so they don't really watch a lot of the puzzling content that I do there. And I thought like, oh well, why not just try to make an English channel and see if anybody will actually want to watch me or will find this channel, because, you know, I didn't really know like how much traction this would get. So if I look at my English channel stats, I currently have 274 subscribers, which is amazing. That is more than I thought I would get this fast, because it's been like pretty much exactly half a year. So that's great. I know that there are other channels that grow a lot faster, and, you know, good for them. I think for me this pace is just good enough. And then I don't know if there's any other stats that we would like to see here. I can look at my like most viewed. Let's see. Okay, so the most viewed video I've done is my full puzzle collection from August, so that's quite old now. It's very, very different now. And that got 1,279 views, which is amazing. I don't think it's actually like 1,200 different people who watched it. I think because the video is over an hour long, it is a lot of the same people putting it on and then having to turn it off because they ran out of time, and then putting it on again to watch the like second half or next part or something. And then the next biggest one is my puzzle haul from June 2025 with unboxing. That was my first puzzle haul, and that one got 1,142, which again, getting over 1,000 for a channel that has less than 300 subscribers. Like, how did that happen? I don't know. It might be something about the thumbnail being me with a huge box. So that's probably, I don't know, interesting for some people when they just see it in their like recommended to watch next. And then, yeah, it's just puzzle hole, puzzle hole, puzzle hole, puzzle hole, puzzle hole, puzzles done. Okay. So that is something that I started doing much later. The puzzles that I've done in the past month-ish. So that one is around like 450. And then, yeah, the worst ones, let's see. Yeah, so the worst ones are just my building a puzzle. Okay. My building a puzzle videos, all of them. All of them get the worst views from anything else that I do, which, you know, that's understandable. Not everybody wants to sit there and watch like a half an hour long video with me saying something about the puzzle and then a time lapse and then me saying something else about the puzzle. Like, I get it. I also don't necessarily always watch those when my favorite puzzle creators do them. So, like, I understand. I am thinking if it's worth it to do them, because if they get around like 120 views each and it's not the easiest to film every time, I don't know if I will want to continue with them forever or if I might just leave them out eventually. For now, I have a few more pre-filmed and I do have quite a few more puzzles bought for them that I want to try on camera. So for now, I'm not changing anything, but it is a possibility that I will stop doing those because they are just not the best performing and I don't want to do videos just for me, you know? Like, I actually want people to watch if it's something that they are interested in. So it's not all about the numbers, but it also does kind of show you what's worth it and what's not. So that is something that I will be looking out for, and if the numbers stay the same and maybe I gain like more subscribers but still the just like building a puzzle videos don't do super well, then I might just stop doing them, because like, why would I do something that nobody really wants to watch? Not nobody, you know, that's the problem, because like I'm always thinking, but there is like 120 people who do want to watch it, and like you are doing it for them. And it's not about the numbers and it's not about engagement, because this channel isn't even, you know, what's it called? I don't make money from it. Monetized, that's the word that I was looking for. So it's not about the views at all. It really doesn't matter necessarily, because it's not like, oh, because people will watch this and not this, I will make more of this because that will make me more money. It won't. It's not monetized. So that's really not the point here, but it's like, I want to do the things that people want to watch and I want to film. So if I'm not having the best time filming myself puzzling and then people don't even really want to watch it that much, then why would I continue doing that? If you know what I mean here. So yeah, that is something that I'm thinking about. But then what would I do the other 2 weeks in the month when I want to publish a video and then I don't have this? But I don't want to do like 4 different hauls necessarily, because I don't have that much money to spend. I do want to cut a little bit down on spending this year, because like I said, the number that I got when I looked at all of my spending, that's just crazy. And I do want to spend money on puzzles because it is like one of my main hobbies right now, but also not all of the money, right? Like, let's be a little more sensible here. So I will try to buy a little bit less in the coming year, so then the hauls will not be enough to do like 4 hauls in 1 month, obviously. So yeah, I don't know what the future will bring. You can let me know in the comments what you want to see maybe, or you know, if you would be really really sad if I didn't put out the building puzzles videos, then maybe I will reconsider. I am not decided either way right now. It's just something that I'm thinking about because, you know, all of this, the filming, editing, and stuff like that, it does take time, and it takes time away from my other hobbies, like puzzling, like reading. So I do want to just not spend time on things that maybe are not that worth it. Hopefully that doesn't sound like I don't, I'm not like grateful for the like 120 people who watch it anyways, because I am. I'm so grateful for everyone that watches my videos. I didn't think I would find this many people who would want to watch me, especially rambling in English, because it is not my first language, and sometimes I do get a little stuck on some word, and maybe, you know, it doesn't sound exactly the way I wanted it to. I'm pretty good, if I can say, in English, so like it's not really, hopefully, that huge of an issue, but sometimes, yeah, it's just the word doesn't come to me. But you know, that also happens in Czech. Like sometimes I just can't think of it. I think that happens for everyone. So, okay, that's enough rambling, because I also want to show you the 10 most favorite puzzles I've done in this year. And this was really hard to pick because I looked at all of my, how many was it, 240? And it was like, I got like this long list of all of the puzzles that I loved. And then I had to cut it down and cut it down and cut it down to get 10, because I don't want to sit here for the next hour and show you all of the puzzles. I want to really just show the most favorite ones. And then I also didn't want to only have like all Ravensburger. I could, but I wanted to make it a little bit more like variety. So I tried to really pull from everywhere. So first let's go through the 500 pieces that I have here. First one on top is this Truffle Spy Guy, Become a Detective, 500 piece Europe puzzle. This one is called Europe. They have two more from this like line. They have USA and they have Gdańsk. And at first I was like, well, we have like one continent and then the second continent and then Gdańsk, which is a city. Why do we have that? Because truffle is, you know, founded in Gdańsk. So that's why that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So this one, I love busy puzzles and pick and place puzzles, so this one is like perfect for me. And the like become a detective part, you have the image on the box is a little bit different in few details. How many is it? 20? Yeah. 20 details on the box are a little bit different. So after you are done puzzling it, you can go through and you can try and find all of the 20 differences, which makes it even more fun, because like who doesn't love to look for differences? And they also kind of sometimes tell a story. So like in the picture here showing like the example, we have like on the box the chef is holding a pizza, bringing it to a lady, and then on the puzzle the chef doesn't have the pizza and he's like sweating and the lady is really sad, you know. So it kind of tells a little story every time and it just makes it even more fun. So this one for me, like I said, I do like truffle. I like truffle premium even, and the like regular truffle as well. This is a regular truffle and I just loved all three of these. I really wish they would come out with more. You know, we do have some more continents missing, so like they have the capability, right? Next one, I think I actually filmed this one for this channel. This is a Czech. It is a Spain company, and this is the Unicorn Garden 500 pieces. The box looks like this, but the image actually is on the back, very, very tiny. which is not a problem because you do get a full-size poster. So if I open it up, we have like a rolled up little poster that is the exact size of the puzzle. So you can puzzle on it if you want to. It was only a little bit annoying because it is rolled up because of the size of the box and the shape. So when I wanted to put it on my table to have it like above the puzzle, since it's a panorama, so it's really long and really skinny, I had to put like shot glasses on the edges so that it would stay flat. So that's just like a little thing, but I loved this image. I loved the weird pieces from Czech. If you didn't see that video, and that one is really one that you should see, they have these like really long skinny pieces, and just like all of them are like this, and they all go the same way, so you have like these long lines, and it's a great cut for sure, but they are so weird and I loved them. So this one was fun, the image was amazing, the quality was good, and the pieces were super strange, so you know, I also enjoyed that. Then, as I mentioned, I do like Cherry Puzzle a lot. I do love their like crazy animal puzzles. So the one that I chose for my most favorite one is the one that makes me laugh the most. It is called High Society, and it is chickens in like jewels and hats and feather boa. And it's just so funny. I love it. I do not know, however, if this is an AI image. It does have a signature in the bottom. You won't really see it very well here, but it does have a signature there. But I'm not sure if it's like, you know, like the artist who took the photo and then they went through AI with it and added all of this in, or if it's somebody who takes the photo and then does all of this by hand. You know, I don't know. It doesn't say like an actual artist anywhere. It's only the signature on the actual image, and it says like art photography, but this is not a photo, obviously. I don't think they actually dressed up chickens. So yeah, that's one thing that I don't really love, is when I don't know if the image is AI or not, because I don't want to support AI. The next one I have is from Clementoni. Surprise, surprise, I love Clementoni. And this one was just such a joy to put together. It is called To the Moon. Sometimes I think I saw it only as Moon. And it's just like this really messy desk, and you see out of the window and you have the big moon there. And it's just all different kinds of clutter. Like I said, I love busy images. This is, by the way, Amy Stewart image, which, you know, I don't think that I've ever seen a puzzler who wouldn't find an Amy Stewart image they loved. I don't think I've met anyone like that. So yeah, this is just, it was a fun thing. I did see right now, like pretty recently, that it came out under Schmidt as a 1,000-piece puzzle, and I think I might actually get this one as 1,000 pieces as well. Just because it's so busy and fun, I think it would be great as 1,000 piece as well. Like, this was great, but you know, I also love Schmidt, so any excuse to get another Schmidt puzzle. And this one, it's the tiny box with the poster inside, so you don't have to worry about that here. That's all of the 500 pieces, so now let's go through the, through the 1,000 pieces. So first I have here on top is Magnolia puzzles. This is the Katryoshkas, and it looks like this. Another thing I love, not just really busy images, but also like collage style images, and this was just perfect for me. I love cats. I love, you know, cats in different puzzles, but not just like a regular, oh, this is a beautiful photo of a cat. Like, that's boring. But this is right up my alley. I just, yeah, I needed this. I saw it, I needed it, I got it from Vinted, and then my most favorite puzzle shop started actually carrying Magnolia, and I could have just bought it there for like very much lower price, but never mind. I have it, I love it. The next one I have is an Enjoy puzzle, and this one is called The White Guardian, and it looks like this. This one was again so much fun. I did see that they have, I think, at least 2 more in this style from this artist, and I will need all of them because this was just like so many different textures and colors and everything like that, and I just loved every minute of this one. It was super enjoyable, and like I love this kind of like flat illustration, but with so many different things that you can very easily distinguish like what is what. Next one I have here is a jumbo, and this is a Vazgich. This was my first Vazgich. It's called Blight at the Museum, and I love this. This is from the Mystery line, and I just love this style of illustration. I loved like kind of figuring out the mystery, because you don't really puzzle this image, you puzzle a little bit of a different image. Something happens in this one, and you know, you see like the aftermath of that. So I had so much fun with this. It did take longer than a regular puzzle would because I didn't know what I'm puzzling, but also it is still very much like doable because the main things in the image are going to be the same. You know that you're gonna have kids in red jackets, and you know that you're going to have like the background the same and stuff like that. So it's very much doable. I am not sure about doing the different Vazgiches where you don't even have like the box image at all, because it is like, oh, so you have a scene here with a person looking right at you, and you are supposed to be puzzling what they see. So it's like the other side of the image, but like you have no clue. So I'm not sure about those, but the mystery ones, very, very doable, very fun. I did another one already, and I will be buying more. And now we're getting to the Ravensburgers. So first of them was a New York City apartment, 1,000 pieces. This is, I wasn't saying all of the artist names, but these ones do get a shout out because they are like my favorites lately. So this is by Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor has a line of these puzzles that are like inside and outside, and I love all of them, but this one, something about the New York City apartment is just so great. I didn't even know I was puzzling, basically. I didn't stop at any point. I always had something else to move on. I always had something to like sort out, pick out, and do. And I was just like on a roll with this puzzle the whole time, and just, you know, I loved it. That's why it's here in the favorites. By the way, this is not like the least favorite to the top favorite. I just have them in random order, so don't worry about that. But that one, loved it. And that one I ordered it from, I think this one was from Amazon Germany, because it was nowhere to be found and I needed it, and I just was willing to pay a lot more just to get it. The next Ravensburger 1000 pieces is the Charmed Cottage by Nathaniel Mortensen. It's this one. It is so beautiful. It was so fun to puzzle. And this one is special for another reason, and that is when Vicky from Vicky Makes and Builds was doing a live stream on this puzzle. She did like 3 or 4, I think. In all of the live streams, Nathaniel was in the chat with us, and he was talking about his puzzles, about how he designs them and all of the details. And my battery is running out because it couldn't stay for another 2 puzzles. Anyways, I'll be right back. And I'm back. So I was talking about the Charmed Cottage. So yeah, Nathaniel was in the stream chat. He was telling us all different details, all different information about how he does his images for his puzzles. And it was so amazing having the artist tell you about his art while you are actually puzzling that art, because with one of the live streams I did this puzzle. So I was like in the chat reading all of his answers, and then in the image seeing all of the things that he was mentioning. It was so special, so amazing. I am so grateful for finding Vicky, for watching her streams, being part of her community, and just like all of that, because that just makes puzzling so much better when you have people you can talk to about all of your puzzle adventures. And yeah, I'm just kind of borrowing her community whenever I want to talk about puzzles. So it was amazing. And the fact that she is big enough creator that she can get these artists to actually come and interact with us. Ah, that is amazing. So this one, very, very special. It is a great image. It was so fun and so easy to puzzle. It might look like there's a lot of brown maybe and when you first look at it, but it has so many different details. And even Nathaniel was saying that when he starts to design a puzzle image, he actually gets like the grid of the puzzle, and he makes sure that every piece has something on it to make it recognizable, to make it easy to find where it belongs. And it shows in his images when you puzzle them. It shows that he does that, and he is very, very careful to make it fun for you, to make it enjoyable, and not give you just like one big brown ceiling and just be done with it. No, he gives you all kind of different details, colors, textures to help you out, to make it easier to do. And you can see it in the image when you do it. So I had so much fun puzzling this one, and it had the special element of the artist actually talking to you about it, because I did ask him a few things during that and he answered me, so that was, yeah. And the last one I have here is a Ravensburger, but it is a 2000 piece Ravensburger. It's one of the 3 that I have done this year, and this one is probably my most favorite puzzle artist right now. It is Demelza Houghton, and it is the novel Avenue. So it looks like this. It is so beautiful, and you know, like I said, I'm a bookish person, and this is books in a puzzle. So that was like the perfect combination. And also you have all kinds of different creatures in it. In every one of her puzzles, she does all kinds of different animals and little, I don't know, beings. And it just makes them so fun to do. And this one, I'm gonna be repeating myself, but I did this as a puzzle along with Vicky from Vicky Makes and Builds. So again, her community, showing them my progress, seeing their progress, you know, talking about the puzzle in detail. I think she was also doing videos about this. Maybe not streams, but maybe a video or two. I don't know. I don't remember. But, you know, having all of that on top of having an actually amazing, beautiful image to puzzle. And this was my first 2000 piece, so that also makes it very, very special. And yeah, it's just so many things in it, about my puzzling experience that makes it one of my favorites for this year, just because it was just, yeah, look at it. Look at it. And it's very easy, 2000 piece, by the way. If you were looking into wanting to do something a little bigger than 1000 pieces, this 2000 piece is very beginner friendly, I must say. And also for my dining table, it just fits it. Just like, there's like, I think 0.5 centimeter that hangs off the side when I have the full border in. But it's a Ravensburger, so it will hold, you know, it's not going to like fall off. So yeah, and that's the last one that I have here to show you. And like I said, I could have done like my top 10 favorite Ravensburgers and just shown you all of the Nathaniel Mortensens, Demelsas and Jason Taylors, and, you know, just have it be that. And that would be true because I love their puzzles as well. But I wanted to give you a little bit more variety, so that's why we had all of the companies. It was super hard choosing. I am so surprised that I didn't have like any Schmidt, and I see one that I've done pretty recently, and I might just add it in last minute. Just give me a because I love Schmidt as well. And this is another artist that I am now starting to love. I don't have any other puzzles from her, but I will be definitely buying more. So this is the Schmidt Dragon Mail from Rose Cat Khan. And it looks like this. And again, very special because Vicky is now doing, we're always coming back to Vicky, don't worry about it. Vicky is now doing puzzle along and like live streaming, doing the 7,000 piece 6 portals puzzle from Rose. And she's actually been in at least one, I think it was more, of those live streams as a guest. Like she had her own little video window in there so that you can see her and she can show you things and she can talk while Vicky is puzzling. And for a lot of the other ones she was in the chat and she was also talking there, and she is also on Vicky's Discord, so she also tells us things in there and reacts, and it's just, yeah. So after seeing her amazing puzzles and after being able to talk to her in these streams and chats and Discord and everywhere like that, I was like, yeah, I want to try one of her puzzles. So I chose the Dragon Mail because it is super cute, and you know, all of the little dragons bringing you mail. It's just like the fantasy world of my dreams. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want to try it. And again, it was so fun. You have a huge piece of sky, but it is a gradient of different colors, so you can definitely very easily do it. And then I was scared of like the darkness on the sides, but it is again very, very well designed image. So what she does is she gives you all kinds of different colors, textures, details, everything like that to help you out, to make it fun even in the darker parts. Also, the actual puzzle image, I don't think it was this dark. Like, I could definitely see a lot more than on the box here, but she is again one of those artists who actually does like care about the people who will be putting her puzzles together. So I was just recently watching Donna Louise's video about the 6 portals, and she had like a video from Rose answering some of Donna Louise's questions. And one of the things that Rose said in that video was that she loves to do her puzzles, the images with her puzzles. She loves to do them, and she loves to do them with people so that she can see in real life real puzzlers and how they approach the image, what is easy for them, what makes it harder, what makes it less enjoyable, what they love, so that next time she can take this knowledge and use it for the next puzzle that she designs. And it's just like, I love that so much, and I love every artist who takes this approach to their puzzles, because okay, I wanted to say it's easy. It's not easy, but it is definitely easier to just make a beautiful image, but beautiful image doesn't always make a good puzzle, because your puzzling experience will definitely depend on all of those little details and textures that the artist puts in. So I love Van Gogh's Starry Night. I love it. I have it huge above my bed, right there. I love that image, but I would never want to puzzle that image, because it would be a horrible experience. I know that already. It would not be fun to do that. So to have puzzle image artists actually think about not just making a beautiful image, but making it fun to puzzle, I am so grateful for that, and that is something that AI will never do. And that is another reason to not support AI images. I'm sorry, I don't want to be on about that. Everybody knows these arguments for both sides. But I don't think anybody can ever make good enough argument for AI images that would trump being... That was a bad word to use, sorry. That would... See, and that's my knowledge of English. Now I don't have another word to use. But that would overpower the argument of the artist can actually think about your puzzling experience and design the puzzle for you. And it's just like, yeah, it makes it so much more fun to do puzzles like that. So that's the last thing I wanted to say. Yeah, so that's the, in the end, 11 most favorite puzzles I've done. It's not all of them, definitely not. I could show you a lot more. I could show you some Dean McAdam, because I did few puzzles from him recently, and I also love him as an artist and his art style. And I could like show you just so much more. But we would be here for a really long time, and I think we already are. So yeah, I think I will just wrap it up here. I thank everyone who actually watched until the very end. I know this was long. I don't know if everybody loves stats as much as I do. And yeah, I will just, you know, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing. If you are not subscribed and you would like to be, you can just click the little button. It doesn't cost you anything. I promise. It's free. It will not mess up your algorithm. It will just show you more of my videos. And I think that could be fun if you like them, you know, like it's easier if you are subscribed. It just gives you my videos when I come out with some. So yeah, or I put out videos every Saturday morning, so, well, my morning, so you can also just come back every time. But it is easier to just subscribe, you know, just saying. And again, I love reading comments that people leave on my videos. Right now it is still low enough numbers that I can answer each and every one of you, and I love to do that. So if you want to leave me a comment, let me know anything down there, and I will happily read it and answer you. And And yeah, if you have any suggestions of, you know, videos that you would want to see from me or anything like that, also leave it down there. I will read it. I will take it into consideration. I am not promising to do everything you ask for, but I will definitely take like inspiration from it, which is always helpful to get inspiration. And yeah, I think that is everything I wanted to say. I wanted to thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, for being here with me. And you can also let me know in the comments how many puzzles you did or you bought and for how much money, because that would make me feel better, I think, if somebody came with like even higher number. Yeah, so that's going to be everything from me. Thank you again for watching and have a great day. Bye.